welcome to episode number 6 of the People We Love podcast. I am Adam Choi. Still. How you guys doing today? Feel free to answer that out loud if you want. I don't really have much housekeeping stuff to do other than that I just wanted to thank you all for your continued support. For today's episode, I'll be interviewing a friend of mine, Sherrod, who works in TV production, but more than that, he has been a drummer since grade school, which was a few decades ago for Sean. I'll just leave it at that. Sean is the biggest Van Halen fan I know, and that's what we talk about today. Music, drumming, and specifically Sean's hero, Van Halen's drummer, Alex Van Halen. But for real, this was a fun interview to record, and ended up becoming a rather epic interview, as you can see by the duration of it, clocking in at about an hour and 40 minutes. I haven't done it yet, but what I'm going to try to do is add chapters for you guys, and hopefully, depending on how you listen to podcasts, you'll be able to click around and jump around more easily if you'd like. But honestly, you're going to want to hear this interview from start to finish, because Sean's passion just really shines through, and he's quite a character. I should also warn you that there is some colorful language sprinkled in this interview throughout, so if you're any sort of good parent, you'll play this interview for your kids so they'll think you're a cool mom or dad. So without further ado, my interview with Sean Sherrod about Alex Van Halen. So, good to see you today, Mr. Sherrod, Mr. Sean Sherrod. How are you?
Choi. I don't ever call you Adam. I don't think I've ever called you Adam. I would prefer to call you Choit.
You can call me... I was going to say whatever you want, but I don't want to give you...
I would always just call you Choit.
I don't want to give you that much leeway, but it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by the studio.
Thanks for having me.
And we are here to talk about a hero of yours.
A very big hero. A hero of mine since I was 13 years old.
Alex Van Halen, the drummer from... What band was that?
The mighty Van Halen.
That's right. So, you've been a fan of them for how long?
Since I was 13, since Van Halen 2. But the funniest part about all of that...
That's an album, Van Halen album.
Yeah. I used to hate Van Halen.
Oh, you hated them?
I used to hate them because I went to a junior high school. It was very racist. And...
You were racist?
No, they were racist.
Oh, they were racist.
The kids at school were very racist.
Against which race?
White kids against blacks. Mexicans.
Oh, I see. Just making sure.
Yeah. And the kids used to write Van Halen, Led Zeppelin all over their vans. So those racist kids, I saw that, so I hated Van Halen.
Yeah.
So
by association.
By association. And then it even goes further when I ended up liking Van Halen, how they used to, I used to get beat up in fights for liking Van Halen. White kids used to tell me, don't listen to our music, go back and listen to your nigger music.
What the hell, man?
And then the black kids would tell me, why are you going to disrespect your own people, man? Don't listen to that white boy music. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But that's what makes my stance and all the beautiful things that have happened to me with the Van Halen camp that much more awesome, because that was I had a great payout at the end. So
yeah, I was wondering about some of that stuff, if what it was like to be because it's not when you go to a Van Halen show or the shows you've been, it's not 85% black, I'm guessing.
It's not even close.
No, I'm joking.
It's not even 1% or 2%. Actually, it's better now. But when I was a kid and went, the Forum, Jesus Christ, you could count.
Did you when you see one another black guy, do like a no?
Because the only person I had that with, God, I love this story. It's
Black Van Halen's Facebook group.
A Black Van Halen fan. My best friend, God bless him, one of my best friends, Mark Harden, who tragically died in a car accident in 2002. But he was a guitar player, and I kid you not, and a lot of people say, oh man, it plays just like him. No, he sounded just like Eddie.
Yeah.
He and I were equivalent to Eddie and Alex. I mean, he and I knew Alex and Eddie Van Halen parts inside out. But the greatest story I love about him...
Because you're a drummer as well. We're going to tie that in. We're going to go back to your LA roots and the drumming and what came first, the drumming or the Alex Van Halen.
Yeah, definitely.
The chronology of all this.
But with Mark, someone turned him on to, you got to hear this guy, Eddie Van Halen. So my buddy Mark bought Van Halen 1, and he played side 1. He got so discouraged and so pissed off that he went out to the street, Witsit, and threw his album in the middle of the street and it broke. And I laughed, and he's telling me the story, and he goes, that's not the part that pissed me off. I go, what part pissed you off? He goes, I had to pay another $5.99 to buy the album again to hear side 2.
Oh, man.
But he mimicked Eddie and many other guitarists very well. But he and I used to catch so much flack for being black, living in the Valley, and liking Van Halen. And for us, we got it. It just made total sense to us.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you live in a melting pot in the country and in Los Angeles, a multicultural city with all kinds of different music and people of all different backgrounds. I think that's what happens. People become exposed to different art.
But Van Halen, for me, made more sense than Led Zeppelin did. I mean, it really.
In what way? I mean, why even invoke Led Zeppelin? Why, it's one, obviously because they're both, classic rock, hard rock powerhouses, but.
Simply put, Van Halen grooves harder than any other rock band. And then back at that time, to call them rock was it was a blanket because they do more than rock. Okay? I mean,
what do they do? I know Van Halen music pretty well, especially the David Lee Roth era.
They groove.
Yeah.
Van Halen grooves their ass off. I mean, it's and that's what clicks with me because I grew up with groove. I grew up on Motown. I grew up on Stax. I mean, soul music is in our family. From my grandfather.
I love all that stuff too. Is it something about Alex Van Halen's drumming that, especially that? I mean, obviously there must be something special.
Well, when I heard it, there's a particular song. Here's the story. I was given Van Halen 2 for my 13th birthday by one of my best friends. He's actually my blood, in the sense, brother. We cut our thumbs. We wanted to be brothers so bad. We cut our thumbs.
That's great.
And his family.
I was being sarcastic. Don't do that.
Don't do it now, but back then, I mean.
Yeah.
But his family was Jewish. Our family was black, and we lived in an apartment building down the street, right down on Addison and Van Nuys Boulevard. And we used to celebrate Hanukkah, and they'd come up and celebrate Christmas. We were that close of a family.
Yeah.
So he gave me this album, which gave it the credibility.
Van Halen 2.
Van Halen 2. I'll never forget it. And I remember
you got some great songs on that one. Dance the Night Away.
I played it, and the only song that I used to play was You're No Good, the Linda Ronstadt cover. And then I kind of dipped the needle in each of the songs. Like, I don't get it. I just dipped it.
Yeah, that's he's referring to vinyl, playing vinyl records. But that's actually that's coming back. That's already back, the vinyl. I guess people like the sound and
I still have like 2 or 3 stereo.
People like the artwork. I get it.
I used to read the album covers every time I listened to it, thinking I'd get more hindsight into it.
Of course.
So finally, I was in a band, and I was going off on this guitar. We were writing music, and I got really frustrated with him. I started yelling at him. He's like, dude, what do you want from me? And I'm like, dude, I want to be in a band where the drummer and the bass player lay the foundation down, okay, of the song, and the guitar player not just knows how to solo, but he also knows how to be a great rhythm player too. And I go out and gotta have outstanding background vocals. That's my Motown influence. You gotta have great backup.
I like all these things. You putting the soul stool together.
And so he goes, dude, you ever heard of Van Halen? I went, fuck Van Halen, blah, 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 blah. I go, and he goes, no, seriously, have you ever listened to Van? I go, I have the album, He goes, which one is it? I go, I don't know. He goes, go get it. So he made me go to my record thing. I pull out Van Halen 2. You
hadn't listened to it at this point. You've already had it for some period of time.
Yeah, I had. I had already dipped. I'd listened to You're No Good.
Dipped. You got to double dip. You got to dip back. Nothing. Very rarely is a song. At least for me, the first time I hear it, have that instant click where you love the song. Very rarely.
It has to have the elements that make me want to listen to it again.
That's fair.
And it didn't have it, or from what I thought I was looking for. So he actually plugged in the headphones, put the headphones on my head.
That's the way to listen to music. That's the proper way.
And he put me in a spot. He picked up his guitar. He had a Les Paul, and he was noodling on his guitar. And he goes...
You couldn't hear him. You only heard the music, the Van Halen.
Oh, yeah, only the music. But he wasn't even plugged in. He just left me alone. He goes, listen to it. So I went through You're No Good. And I said, okay, I already know that one. Then I heard, dunk, 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 and cowbell. I went, oh, I didn't catch that before by dipping. And then I heard the whole thing, heard Dance the Night Away.
Right, yeah.
Okay, then we went into...
More cowbell.
Somebody get me a doctor. I went, wow. I'm like, that was energy. I felt the energy. Then they went into Bottoms Up. Then I heard Out of Love.
Bottoms Up is great, yeah.
And I went, holy shit. He flipped it on the other side, put on side B, and we went through Light Up the Sky, Spanish Fly.
Spanish Fly is great. Also.
Dead or Alive, Women in Love, Beautiful Girls. And I took off and I went, holy shit.
Yeah, Beautiful Girls is a class. So that became a radio hit. That's a radio hit.
But, I mean... I can't remember if it was before that or after that I heard like Dance the Night Away. There used to be a place called Golfland. It's a miniature golf place. It used to be one on Sepulveda, but I don't even know if it's still there anymore. But
not Castle Park.
Yeah, like a Castle Park.
Like Castle Park, but not Castle Park.
Yeah, but it was called Golfland. And it was miniature golf. What do you call those things? Not slot cars.
Bumper cars? Go-karts.
Go-karts. And all this stuff. But in the summer... That's what you heard. People used to carry cassette, portable radios.
What you heard is Van Halen too.
You heard Van Halen, you heard Led Zeppelin, but I heard Dance on, I think it was before that, because it was over the summer. I heard Dance on That Way.
This is 1979. Because Van Halen 1 came out in 78, and Van Halen 2 was 79, correct?
Correct.
Look at me. I'm like a...
Very good.
Yeah. Well, those are my two favorites of the...
Well, that...
I would say.
So, I had heard these songs, but I didn't really... hear them as in the intricacy.
Yeah, you got a double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip, and then you...
Well, that's what happened, because I said, oh my God, this is amazing. I tell him, this is freaking amazing. I go, is there any more? He goes, yeah, Van Halen 1. He loaned me his Van Halen 1. I still have it to this fucking day.
So you listened to Van Halen 2 before you listened to Van Halen 1. Oh, man. Because Van Halen 1 is... I mean... I don't want to say superior, because if you like the second one more, that's, people like it. But Van Halen 1 is definitely more known as the classic Van Halen album, I would say, of all Van Halen albums.
Yeah, I did 2, then 1, and then I became like a drug addict, dude. I was like...
Because that's all that was out at that point, was 78 and 79.
Well, then he said...
You old mofo.
That's me.
It's all relative.
I said, is there any more? And Women and Children First had just got released. And that was 1980.
What was on that? I don't have anything in front of me. I'm not in front of a computer. I'm not using my phone, just so everyone knows.
I can tell you, dude. For the first 6 albums, I know them by heart.
Yeah,
Cradle Rock.
Cradle Rock is good. A good tune.
Everybody Wants Some. Fools. Romeo's Delight. You Flip It Over. Tora Tora. Loss of Control. Take Your Whiskey Home. Across the
I remember Take Your Whiskey. I used to listen to a lot of Van Halen in college, like back in the day.
Could This Be Magic? That's the name of that song. Could This Be Magic? And then In a Simple Rhyme. And that's all I listened to, dude. Those 3 albums. And every time I listened to it, I heard something else.
Of course.
And there were certain things with the Van Halen 2 going back before I went into Van Halen 1 and all that. After he left that weekend, I went and played it. And I remember there's a song called Women in Love. And there's this beautiful...
I'm going to go back and listen to, like, all these songs. I'm going to post, like, all these YouTube clips and, like, whatever on social media, like, coinciding with this release.
I'm going to retract something. Other than You're No Good, I used to listen to this intro to this song called Women in Love that Eddie Van Halen did. I didn't know that was a guitar... But it sounded very angelic. Something about, I'm not kidding.
I think I know what you're,
it was the prettiest thing I'd ever heard in my life. And was still.
Prettier than Duane Allman's Little Martha. Do you know that one?
I don't know that.
I'll send you that one.
But when I think of Eddie Van Halen, a lot of people, when they think of Eddie Van Halen, they think of Eruption. I don't.
Yeah.
I think of this intro because it was so beautiful. It was the most beautiful. I used to play that over and over with.
Is it kind of like Spanish Fly a little bit? No. Spanish Fly is acoustic.
Spanish Fly is acoustic and it's busy.
Yeah.
It's this.
Yeah.
But this Women in Love is melodic. It's a very
Spanish Fly is like a fly. It's like a fly buzzing around. Fly to the bumblebee kind of vibe to it.
But it wasn't that. But see, all those things about Eddie, those are the things that impress me with Eddie. It's his ability. Eddie Van Halen. He doesn't get the credit for it. He is one of the most amazing rhythm players.
He does it all at once, does he not? Is he not playing rhythm, lead, bass, and like on the guitar, playing everything at once?
If you go back to listen, I have a lot of their old club tapes or the stuff like when they used to play Gazzarri's or the Starwood. When he's playing live, yes, he knows how to come back in from leads or little riffs right back into that rhythm with ease. Because
when you're listening to the album, right, he's doing dubs, there's overdubs and stuff like that. But when he's live, he's kind of just playing the parts that are almost like most pronounced on the record that you're gonna recognize, the little riffs, and he's going to the rhythm when it's needed to be, and he's playing those popular lead when when the time comes.
But he doesn't really. I sent him a thing on Facebook too that I said.
Hey, we're not gonna talk too much about Eddie though. We gotta get back to Alex.
I just said that you don't get the credit for being really one of the most amazing rhythm players.
Wait, you said this?
I sent him on his Facebook page, and I said, Eruption, Spanish Fly, all those things.
Yeah. Don't
mean as much to me.
You said this to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I got a few likes from other people, so they get it. And I'm like, I love Eddie. Eddie Van Halen will always be my number one guitar player because he plays in one of the. I get his band. Every time they put something out, even though it's not a fan favorite or a critic's favorite, I get where they're coming from because I understand them.
I feel like that with some of the creative people that I connect with the most. Even if I don't love everything that they do, I can get where they're coming from and appreciate it. On some level, do you think that he appreciated you? Not that you criticized Eruption or whatever, but you think, is that like going up to Van Morrison and be like, you know what, you got way better songs than Brown Eyed Girl? Because he's I think he said that himself that I have way better songs than Brown Eyed Girl. So maybe that's like Eruption is Eddie Van Halen's Brown Eyed Girl.
I see what you're saying. I see the comparison. I wasn't saying it to slander him.
Of course not.
And my appreciation for the Van Halen brothers, for Van Halen, is I understand the journey. I understand that they're not going to always do what the fans want.
Who can?
Exactly. And so they do what they do. Like Van Halen 3. A lot of people hate Van Halen 3. There's some really great music on Van Halen 3.
That's the album with
Gary Cherone.
I've never really listened to it. Should I dip my needle? Oh man.
I would definitely. Yeah, I say yeah. I don't turn away. The Hagar years were not my favorite.
Yeah.
And I did this with somebody with Facebook. I counted the songs that were my favorite. And there's 10 out of 5 albums. Yeah. 10 songs that just knocked me over. That was like those.
I probably have about 3 to 5. Right Now, everyone loves Right Now. I mean, not you hate Right Now and you hate Jump. I know you hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I like Right Now more than Jump. Come on, you put on Right Now, you're gonna get all pumped up to go get some shit done. You know that.
No. I would do that more.
You're going to drink Pepsi or whatever instead?
I remember when Pepsi came out.
Was it a Pepsi commercial?
It was a Pepsi commercial.
Oh man, we fucking old dudes up in here.
Those are just, you will never hear me play those songs out of my truck.
Yeah.
Ever. I'm a Dirty Movies from Fair Warning. I'm Drop Dead Legs from
These sounds like the titles of songs that you would be playing out of your truck. I must say, I don't. People can take that for what they will.
Those are my Sinner's Swing.
I like Unchained. Are we just gonna name Van Halen songs that are our favorite? You Really Got Me. Obviously, that's a big hit.
Yeah, you'll never hear me play You Really Got Me.
Too much of a radio hit. You don't want to play the radio hits.
I am not a radio Van Halen person.
But Dance the Night Away was a radio hit. But it's not like Eruption. The mega hits were Eruption or Jump.
Running with the Devil. You won't hear me play. You Really Got Me. You won't hear me play.
For me, it's more like how often do I hear that? Have I not heard You Really Got Me or Running with the Devil in a while? And I hear it, I'm like, damn, that shit's some powerful. That's smoking.
There was a commercial in the 90s.
Yeah, you're not going to listen to Running with the Devil every day, but when that comes on once every, in a blue moon, it's like, damn.
It's one of those things that's not those aren't my dudes. I mean, what's the song? Feel Your Love Tonight is my song,
Yeah.
A Little Dreamer That's
Little
my song.
Dreamer is good.
Okay.
Little Dreamer is a nasty little riff that Eddie gets going.
That's
on that
what
one.
that's my Van Halen. That's what charges me. It's
Yeah.
not the pop hits. That's why.
Has there ever been like a hip hop sample of Little Dreamer? That's what I'm waiting for, like someone who does something with that, because I feel like that would be something you could.
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
The closest that came to hip hop was the
remix.
intro to what was it? Wild Thing. Tone Loc.
Yeah.
Is the intro of Jamie's Crying.
Oh, is it?
Boom 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 boom.
You're saying the percussion? Is it the bass?
Well, the whole that whole.
You're right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh man, I'm gonna listen to that.
That's Jamie's Crying. I heard it immediately, and I went, "That's Jamie's Crying."
Jamie's Crying is a great song.
Yeah. But that's Tone Loc's Wild Thing.
Is that too mainstream for you, Jamie's Crying?
Oh no, I fucking love Jamie's Crying.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Everything off of Van Halen, Women and Children First, I listen to. I can listen to rather. I don't listen. I like Unchained. I just don't listen to it as much anymore because it's become a big song.
Yeah. It's all, like I'm saying, it all depends on like how often you hear the song, and it's not your choice. How often is it being forced upon you, whether it's like just in your environment, playing on rock radio if you're around that or whatever.
Panama is that way. Like,
yeah, Panama is one of the mega. It's in every movie trailer.
It's like, I'm like, ugh. I mean, I used to love it.
Of course, yeah.
You used to love Panama, but then it became big.
Yeah, it's
Hot for Teacher's another one. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I don't hear a lot. I don't hear Van Halen as much as you. So like, when Hot for Teacher comes on, it's like you're not gonna turn that off. But when you hear those drums, come on, man, those drums kick in. But anyway, tell me. So what came first, your drumming or your Van Halen fandom?
Drumming, because my family's in the business.
So you played. When did you start playing drums?
When I was 5.
And your family was in the business in what capacity?
My grandfather worked at Motown from 1964 to 1973. He did all the in artist development department. He did all the original choreography for the Supremes, the Temptations, all the bands.
Oh, in L.A.
No, in Detroit.
But you were originally from, you were saying, from New York.
But my family's in Meridian, Mississippi, Detroit.
You have family all over, and you spent obviously majority of your childhood in Los Angeles.
Yes, yeah. And my father is a professional drummer. He's played with a band called Little Anthony and the Imperials, as well as with jazz greats Joe Williams. Les McCann. So music's just me wanting to be a drummer was not.
It wasn't forced upon you. It's something that you always just
there wasn't some
got
like,
into.
Like, what are you gonna do? And you're like, I'm gonna be a rock drummer. It was just like, I'm gonna play drums.
Yeah.
And because it just made sense because everybody in my family did.
It's what you did.
Yeah. So it wasn't like this, pie in the sky dream. It was like, oh, this is what we do. Okay, that's what I got to do. I got to work on my craft.
Okay, so you were playing drums when you were 5 years old, and you got into Van Halen when you were 13. So between those 8 years, what was musically kind of, where were you at?
Musically, I was listening to.
This is where the interview is going to start.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
To be perfectly honest, first songs I started playing were Partridge Family albums and Staple Singers.
Yeah, Staple. That's great. That's great stuff.
And I was trying to. I couldn't master a groove. Staple Singer was about groove. I did not have groove when I was a kid.
When you were playing drums?
Mm-hmm. Didn't have a groove.
How do you define groove? What's because you can have rhythm but not groove? Is that a white question? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't call it a white question, but you can have.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. You can. It's something. It's understood. But how did you know you didn't have groove? Expand.
Okay, let's just try it this way.
We can get to. I have some bongos here.
No, I don't play
not
bongos.
Necessary.
But if you were playing, a guy could have time, and he could go. He has time.
Yeah.
To have groove. see what I'm saying?
A little bit more intricacy.
It's not interesting. It's really not intricate. It's just, you know how a guy who plays time just plays this. Yeah. That's like what drum machines do. They just do this.
Accents.
But when you have groove, you know how to dance around and wiggle your way through all that time. Yeah. I was very good at executing time, but I wasn't good at grooving. And I didn't learn how to groove. Wow. I didn't learn how to groove. You
got to go to groove school.
It requires broadening your mind, but it really... Rock music... Well, okay, let's go back. When I was a kid, my friends were predominantly white. At least the ones I lived around, but I'd go hang out with my black friends, but whatnot. But anyway, we'd listen to Jackson 5 and funk over there.
Sure.
And R&B, and with my friends, I would listen to their music. And Alice Cooper, Black Sabbath, all that kind of stuff. And none of that stuff clicked with me.
Yeah.
But then one day, my friend turns me on to this song called Frankenstein by the Edgar Winter Group. And it fucked up my head. I went, oh my God. Because it grooved. And then we would play certain cuts from there. There's a lot of songs, I'll play them for you, and you'll hear that there's a guitarist named Rick Derringer.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And he was a guitar player for the Edgar Winter Group. And he has groove. And they executed with rock volume, but they grooved. And I totally got it. And seriously, that album, I praise that album because it turned my whole way of thinking.
Yeah, I have so much stuff to listen to after we're done recording this.
There's 4 cuts off of there. Let's see. 4 cuts mandatory that you have to listen to. There's one called Hanging Round. One you may already know called Free Ride.
Yeah, of course.
A song called We All Had a Real Good Time, and Frankenstein. And just the groove. Altamira is a great song.
Yeah, I may know some of these songs, just not know the titles that go with these songs.
They're that album turned my life around. That was a big game changer.
So this was between the ages of 5 and 13?
7. I was 7.
7? Your life was turned around at 6 or 7 years old?
Musically.
I don't think my life was anything... There was, when I was 6 or 7, if I had any profound experiences.
I remember it clearly. Because I listen to music all the time.
Yeah.
But I was listening to pop radio. My friends turned me on to the station called KHJ. And I used to sleep with my radio on. And sometimes I'd have it on a soul station called, why can't I not just say KHJ? What's it? 1580 K-Day. I used to listen to K-Day sometimes, or I'd listen to KHJ.
K-Day was what?
A soul station.
No, but K-Day became something else. It became the hip-hop station, or what was K-Day?
Maybe. I don't even know. It ended in 84 for me. I stopped listening to K-Day.
Yeah.
In 84.
K-Day, hip-hop today back in the day.
Really?
Maybe in 2005. I really don't know.
84. I stopped listening to K-Day.
Yeah, I haven't listened to much of the radio. I listened to 91.5 KUSC classical music.
Okay. But I'd sleep with the radio on all the time, so I'm always listening to music. I remember when American Bandstand premiered Bohemian Rhapsody in 1975 on one of their Saturday shows.
Yeah.
And I remember staring at the TV going, this is weird. But I kept watching it and going, what the fuck? Because my buddy, he was like my big brother. His mother,
you probably weren't the only one who thought that when this came out.
His mother worked at the Holiday Inn over there on Highland. And he would sleep at my house. And in our house, you can't have friends sleep over on a school night.
Yeah.
But because his mother was working, my mother was watching him. So he became like my brother. Yeah. So he turned me on to The Who, to like Elton John's Captain Fantastic. He turned me on to Queen. He turned me on to the rock.
Yeah, a bunch of different music.
So this is all happening before 10, And I'm like, that shit soaked in. It was so weird. It soaked in.
Were you always just music, or were you
always
not a sports guy? You didn't paint or anything like that?
I played t-ball and baseball,
but you didn't not advance beyond like much.
Just what the park, what you sign up at the park for. It wasn't my thing. Music has always been my thing. That's like when I don't have music. That's why I have to have music.
Yeah, I suppose I can relate. Maybe not on that level, but
no, it's deep. My thing with music is deep. deep.
Yeah.
It's
Mine's deep, but you much deeper. You're like that trench.
I'm deep in the trench. It's so.
You're what Mariana's Trench or whatever.
Who?
Or isn't that some big trench that's like miles, millions of miles or whatever? It's called?
That's.
I'm the Grand Canyon. You're the big ass trench.
I think I'm the Grand Canyon, but okay.
No, the trench is deeper.
Is it really?
I don't know. I think so.
The
ocean, man.
My sister-in-law, she trips out how I can hear a song. I can tell you the year when it came out. I can tell you who it is. So random. She's like, "How do you know this?" Because that's what I did.
Yeah, you study it.
No, I didn't. It's like I always tried to find out as much as I could.
No, you studied it, but you didn't think of it as studying.
Yeah.
Basically. I get that.
I just wanted information.
Yeah.
You know?
You cared.
The other artist that was huge for me, sort of like the Edgar Winter Band, was Steve Miller Band.
Yeah.
Fly Like an Eagle album came out.
They have a lot of great songs.
Once again, they grew. But once again, what I learned from later, the influence is blues, jazz, into rock. So, brings us to Van Halen. So after that, I'll bring you to the story that I said at the beginning.
Right.
And then I started, after my friend left, after I had heard Van Halen 2, and I'm still waiting for him to give me Van Halen 1.
And then you got Van Halen 1.
Well, no, I was still on Van Halen 2, and that's why I was listening to it. I started listening to it a little more intense. And I was like, just when you listen to stuff and a song like Beautiful Girls came on, I would start to tap it. I'm just trying to figure out, I go, okay.
You're trying to play the drum part along.
Just tapping. Well, I wasn't even at the drum kit, but I was like, and I had started taking drum lessons at 12.
You're wearing a Van Halen shirt right now. I should mention that.
Most of the time,
most of the time you are. Yeah.
And I remember I was learning drums, and they were teaching you stuff like a rock beat is eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a shuffle note is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and disco is 1 and 2 and 3 and all this stuff. So I remember I was trying to apply what I knew of my drum lesson of reading music to what Alex was doing. And in most rock, to that point, hi-hat is always going on like this. And I was listening to Alex's hi-hat pattern, expecting this. I'm like, wait a minute, he's doing a shuffle beat. Shuffles were known for jazz or like the music your parents, the old-timey music, right? And he's doing a shuffle, well, I'm a seaside sitting next to something and thinking on ringside.
Yeah, no.
He's bouncing the shit out. I went, wait a minute. And I listened to the bass drum. I was like, boom, 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 boom. I mean, he's hitting these hits.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Most rock was boom, bah, boom, bah, boom. I went, wait a minute. I go, he's not playing rock drums. I said, holy shit. He's applying jazz. Oh, I said, and then all of a sudden the heavens started opening up. I went, oh my God.
The heavens started opening up.
The clouds, and I went, and so I started going to each song and listening like to his bass drum patterns and his hi-hat and what he was doing. And he would do little things with his snare. It's called a ghost note that Rick Allen can't. Everyone says like when I was injured, the drummer in Def Leppard plays with one arm and he sucks. Okay. Cause he plays boom, ta, boom, ta. There's a thing called ghost notes, and that's what I do. A lot of my shit is it's a lot of intricate shit in there.
Yeah.
I can't do that if I don't have a good arm. Rick Allen doesn't play that way, so playing one arm works great for him. So
he don't need the other arm for what he's doing.
Exactly. So fine, great. But I do. So I'm listening to Alex, and I'm like, oh dear God. Yeah, everyone's saying rock, but that's not what you're doing.
But it's what he's doing in conjunction with the rock guitar that Eddie is bringing in, the other band.
He's applying
other music to
the music because it's not just straight rock.
Right.
And then I listen to Eddie. Eddie doesn't play just ching 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 ching. Like Eddie grooves his ass off. And I said, oh dear Lord. And when I figured it out, I started laughing. I'm like, these idiot kids think you guys are just rocking, but you're grooving the shit out of their fucking asses. That it swings. That's why you can listen to a song like beautiful girls go, ah,
Yeah, you can snap
beautiful-
it.
snap your fingers.
Yeah,
you can't snap your fingers to fucking Rush. You can't snap your fingers to... There's probably some Led Zeppelin. I won't totally leave them out.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about what hard rock songs I could snap to.
You know.
Work on that. I'll bring you a list on Monday morning.
But with Van Halen, I go, oh my god, I can snap. That's why I like it, because it grooves. Because that's my natural.
Sure.
So I said, oh dear Lord. So then I just started following. There were times at night I'd be in a dead sleep on a school night, and I'd hear a Van Halen song, and I'd get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You'd hear it in your head.
It couldn't get it out of my head. So I go to my stereo. And I remember I got busted one time by my mom, but I finally figured out what I thought the drum pattern was. So I got up, and I thought I would
Quiet.
tap. Yeah, I thought I was being quiet. My mom comes to my bedroom and she goes, if you don't go to fucking bed, you got school in the morning. Get off those drums.
Yeah.
And she goes, what are you doing? And that was just my thing. I think I finally figured it out. Wait till tomorrow when you get home from school, because I used to rush home from school and play to my Van Halen albums. That's how I used to practice. And Alex Van Halen I had a teacher in high school. She said the only way she would be able to reach me is to address me as Mr. Van Halen. And her name's Miss Kajiyama. God bless her.
The only way that she would be able to reach you?
Yeah, and that I would pay attention in class is to address me as Mr. Van Halen.
Because you like that, and that's the only...
Because that's what my focus was.
She knew that you were such a big fan.
A big fan, and that's what I had on my...
get your attention.
PG phone, yeah. Mr. Van Halen, would you like to come do this one? Mr. Van Halen. Hello, Mr. Van Halen.
Man.
I'm like, wow. And people knew that's who...
So what about through your adolescent and teen years, did you go to a lot of Van Halen shows?
I only went to 2 of the tours. I missed the biggest tour. Oh, God, that's a horrible story. All right, here's one for you. I hate this story with all my heart.
It's a good story, but it's a sad story?
It's a fucked up story.
Oh, well, that sounds good.
I had a buddy who was a professional BMX racer. And so he goes, hey, Sean, you want to go to a concert? I go, okay. Who is it? He goes, Van Halen. Okay, let me call my mom. I go, how much is the ticket? He goes, it's free. I already have it. Okay. Sports Arena. I go inside his house, call my mom at work. She's like manager of Citicorp or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom, can I go to a concert? With who? With Bobby. Who else is going? Nobody, just us. No, you can't go to a concert with Bobby. He's too young. He was 16. And I'm like...
And you were
13.
Yeah.
And it turned out it was the 1980 Invasion tour, which I would have loved to have seen that fucking concert. But free ticket. My mom wouldn't let me go.
Oh, man, that's rough.
To this day.
That's the worst.
If I had to hold anything over my mom for the fucked up... Okay? I hold that fucking concert. Because that Van Halen's my life. And so anyway. And then the Fair Warning tour came around at school. And back at our school, when concerts... When you went to see a concert, you always wear the shirt the next day. You know? That was just a cool thing to do in the valley.
From the tour?
The show you went to the night before, you wear your concert t-shirt the next day.
Right, that you get there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So one day I show up at school, and this is junior high school, and pretty much a lot of people know I'm a Van Halen fan now. So I'm seeing all these Van Halen shirts.
Yeah.
Like I saw like sprinkles, you know. I'm like,
more people became fans.
Oh no! I'm like, I've never seen that Van Halen shirt before. Well, one person, then I saw it on another person, then I saw it on another person. So one guy, Alan Stromer, I'll never forget this. He had one on, and he was a drummer. I went, where'd you get this shirt? At the concert last night. What the fuck? Van Halen's here? Yeah, dude. I thought. I go, why didn't anyone tell me? He goes, thought you knew. You're such a big fan.
Yeah.
I knew nothing. It was the Fair Warning tour, the best tour ever by any Van Halen fan.
How did you not know that they were in town?
I didn't know. I was not plugged in.
At that particular moment, something was going on.
No, like at that, 1981.
You were almost just so busy listening to the album and playing drums that you didn't even realize the band was coming to town.
I never heard about them coming down. I didn't listen to a radio station that they were on.
Yeah.
that would announce that.
There's no internet back then, I guess.
Exactly. So information was...
Yeah, so you weren't at that show. Oh, my goodness.
And that's the show I cry about that I wish I had been at. And I can't believe I missed it. And they were here like 3 or 4 nights. I hurt. I just hurt.
Oh, man.
So I didn't see Van Halen until the Diver Down tour. I saw them 2 or 3 times.
This is 80?
1982.
Yeah.
And I actually hitchhiked back. Check this one out. I wanted to go opening night. I camped out to get tickets for the 3rd night. So I saw them twice. So I camped out at a Sears that sold a Ticketmaster, Ticketron or something. And met one of my best friends, Chris Cox. But I wanted to go opening night. I said, I have to go opening night. So I told my neighbor downstairs, I want to go see Van Halen. He goes, you get the tickets, I'll get us there. All right. Scalper tickets for 2 Van Halen back then, $40. $40.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was probably, before it was worth $40 was more money back then, but
exactly.
It doesn't sound like a lot today.
So we take the RTD down to the Forum, and then after it's over, we hitchhiked. I actually walked on the freeway, and this guy flagged down a dude in a white truck.
There's no Lyft? There's no Uber?
Nothing.
No, of course.
And we jumped in the back of this white truck, and this guy seemed like he was on PCP or something like that.
Oh, my goodness.
And my buddy said, okay, if we flip, just hang on to the sides the best you can. I'm flying down the freeway in the back of a truck, hanging on for dear life.
You're like in the bay? Like the back?
Back
of a pickup truck. Oh, my goodness.
It was a white Chevrolet pickup truck.
I think I was driving recklessly.
Just like
understatement of the year.
Like, I think, y'all need a lift? I was like, he goes, yeah, hop in.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, and that's what we were doing. My buddy Ray, and he was older, but he never looked like scared, but he just remembered when he got in, he was looking at the car lights coming, he just said, if this thing flips over, just hang on to the sides the best you can. I was like, oh, fuck. So that's my death story of going to Van Halen. Then
how was the show?
Then the night that I went, I actually bought a ticket for, I was on the floor.
Wait, so you didn't go to that show? Wait.
I get to the opening night.
Yeah,
then I went back for the 3rd night.
Okay, so the opening night's when you had your pickup truck.
Yeah, and the 3rd night,
which you survived.
Yeah, was the night I saw women dressed in nurses' outfits with their busts just.
Was this Halloween?
Out. No, that's how they went to a Van Halen show.
Yeah,
and fishnet stockings, and they were just doing all those stupid girl poses.
Yeah,
on each other and grabbing each other's breasts. I mean, I'm just sitting there going, I was 16. I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And they were just like, and they would touch each other. They would take poses. Everyone's just staring at them. They touch each other on the inner thighs. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is fucking insane. Yeah. And the only time I saw something close to as good as that was the Purple Rain tour with Prince. Because women, there was no Victoria's Secret back then.
They created it.
Women were showing up at Prince tours. Prince shows in their underwear and seeing total pubes, popping through the,
Do I have to bleep that?
No, it's not pubes.
I don't bleep that.
I didn't say pussy hairs.
Oh, you just did.
But, yeah, so there's that. And I followed from them. I mean, I've always had a love for Alex, all the way down to up to the time I met him. And that came about with a sheriff, a buddy of mine who's went to school with my stepbrother.
This was what year was this?
2014.
Okay, so you hadn't. Well, obviously Van Halen has gone through a few iterations with various lead singers and non-tours.
I'm religiously David Lee Roth. The first 6 albums with Michael Anthony, David Lee Roth, Eddie and Alex Van Halen is the way Christians refer to their Bible.
I follow.
That's my Bible. That's my rock and roll Bible right there.
From the end of the Roth era to the time you met Alex, what in the 2000s? You said 2004. When you say what was it when you met?
2014.
2014.
March.
So what was your Van Halen life like for that big chunk of time? You're just kind of listening to the old stuff because they had some reunion moments here and there.
No, well,
Sammy Hagar.
I always bought the Hagar albums to hear what Alex was doing.
Sure.
To hear what Eddie was doing. I mean, I couldn't.
You couldn't not check it out.
I wasn't that guy. I mean, I'm a fan of Van Halen. I'm a fan of Eddie and Alex. I wanted to hear what they wanted to do. There's some great songs like "Man on a Mission," total groove song. There's a song. What was the other one I loved? Oh my God! "Finish What You Started" was total. That should have been done with David Lee Roth. It just has the campiness to it and the groove to it. That was totally. That should have been a Roth song.
Maybe it what you would know if it was, I guess.
Well, no, I know I wouldn't, but it
was
sounds
written
like
in that
it should have been a Roth. That's got Roth written all over it. And there's another one. "Love Is the Source of Infection." Oh my God, Alice's double bass on that. It's just he's fucking killing it. It's pretty insane. It's pretty much like the intro to "Hot for Teacher."
Yeah.
Like all the way through the song. It's just
you've appreciated their music and you found ways to listen.
I found little
snippets, your bootlegs and all odds and ends where you can still find new things and you're still loving. You've always loved the music from 1978, 1979 to 2000.
When they did the Best Of album, they came out with 2 songs, "Can't Get This Stuff Anymore" and my favorite, "Me Wise Magic." That is so Van Halen. That's what they did 2 songs with Roth. And it sounded like they had their touch again. It sounded like old Van Halen.
Sure.
And it was beautiful. And those were so that came out, I forgot what year that was, but 1997, I think. And it was little things like that. I was like, ooh, I can listen to those 2 songs.
Yeah, that'll hold you over for the year.
That'll hold me for a decade.
Yeah.
Over all the Sammy Hagar albums, those 2 songs will keep me alive. And then when they got back together in 2007, I went to the show and with Wolfgang on bass. And Wolfgang, oh my God. I'm a Michael Anthony person. I mean, because he was there when I was 13. But Wolfgang kicked my ass.
The second bassist.
Well, Eddie's son, Alex's nephew. He kicked my ass. I was very impressed. Were
you skeptical going in that it was nepotism, him getting this job or something like that, or you just didn't even think about it? And you're just like that. He just reminded you that he's so talented.
I never thought of nepotism.
Eddie's not going to just play with anyone.
I suppose. Bottom line, that's Eddie's and Alex's choice, and I think they care enough about their music and enough about their fans to not want to rip them off.
Exactly.
So he put Wolfgang in there, and he wouldn't put Wolfgang in there if he couldn't do the job.
Same thing with, I think, Sammy Hagar and Gary Cherone work with other singers. Obviously, if people have their preferences and you could try to say who's better, who's this, who's my favorite. But, these are talented dudes who are not going to just work with nobody. Obviously something's going to be more successful than others, but you have to have some level of talent to fill those boots. For Eddie to want to get into a music studio and record with you, and Alex and whoever's in the band at the time.
And 2 things, that tour, the 2007 and 2008 tour, would have never happened if it wasn't for Wolfgang. Because as far as Eddie concerned, he was done with Roth,
And Wolfgang did what?
Was the one who
brought them together.
He actually called David Lee and told him what they're rehearsing at the studio and that they should talk and see about coming over and jamming.
That's where it starts. Okay. They're just people like all of us. All it takes is a call or a text or whatever.
That was Wolfie's call. That's not Eddie's call. And thank God it did it. I'm thankful because that's my Van Halen. I miss Michael Anthony because his contribution with his high tenor voice. That's the thing I love. A Van Halen harmony, I'll take it over anything. Yeah. No one.
They do have, I would say, almost underrated harmonies are almost like forgotten to some degree how good they were.
They're excellent, They can sing a cappella together. They're good. They're better than good. But that was the thing that.
And Eddie, do they all sing backup?
Yes,
they all.
Except for Alex.
Yeah.
Well, Alex will sing backup in the studio, but not live.
Yeah.
But Eddie has a great voice too, and the three of their voices together, Michael, David, and Eddie, back in the day, you could not top it. They had almost like a barbershop.
Yes.
Type.
I can hear it.
And that's not. And that's what
you don't hear that in
rock and roll. That's why I
much.
laughed. I go, oh my God, you guys are hitting it on so many cylinders, and everyone else is not getting it. And that's why I said, oh my God, this is.
They're getting it, but maybe they don't know what they don't understand what it is. They don't get why they're getting it.
That's what I'm saying. But they weren't calling it out. They weren't saying, hey, they're doing this.
Well, you're a music man. You can understand. You're like me. You understand the intricacies.
So I cracked up and I went, oh my God. There's nothing that can change me from Van Halen. There's a reason I don't like, when people think of Van Halen, oh, David Lee Roth and spandex, Eddie Van Halen on Eruption, I'm like, no.
You think of, well, we get what you think of, but it's beyond that. So in 2014, you finally met Alex Van Halen. Let's hear that story.
Well, my brother's friend from high school, we were going to go to see a Park in the concert. It's this band called DSB, Don't Stop Believing. They're a Journey tribute band.
I'm glad I missed that one. Just kidding.
They're really good.
Okay.
They're really good. I love the guys. And so it's a free concert over in
Just
Woodland
kidding.
Hills.
I love you guys too. I don't know you.
And my sister-in-law said that she couldn't get my brother to call some old friends of his. I'm like, why? He's like, you don't just call people out of the blue. I haven't talked to that guy in 3 years. You don't just call him out of the blue and invite him. Why not? That's exactly why you invite him. You thought of him, you invite him. So I call this guy. His name's he's an officer, sheriff.
And you invite him to see this Journey tribute band.
Well, he was calling back because he got something. Hey, you want to go meet us at the park? He's like, dude, I was just down there. I'm back up in where's the Grapevine? Where's that up? The Grapevine. Where is that city? Oh my God, I can't think of the city right now. But it's up near the Grapevine. And it's really far away, but that's where he lives. He's already back there. He said, I would have loved to. I was just down in the valley. And he's like, so what's going on with you, man? I'm like, oh, nothing much. And I used to work at this place called USA Beep, a pager company. And he used to bring me drumsticks of Alex because his partner, they go up to Eddie's studio. You know, it's right up here on Coldwater Canyon, right?
Yeah,
okay.
You mentioned it, I think.
And they go up there and they'd have to make a stop by because neighbors are complaining because they hear Van Halen rehearsing. And so they'd go up there and make a courtesy drive. So he would give me stuff when they'd go on these drives. So I go, yeah, I still got the drumstick.
So you knew the sheriff who patrolled Eddie Van Halen's neighborhood because you met him at, where was it again?
I know, he's friends with my brother. He went to high school with my brother.
Gotcha, okay.
And obviously I became friends with him over the many decades.
And when you first found out that this guy was doing this, you must have flipped your shit. You didn't say, bring me over or take me on your...
No, I would never ask that of anyone, ever.
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't ask you right away, but I would work my way.
No, I just said...
I would plant the seeds and lay the fertile ground for something, for great things.
All I said to him, that's how I planted the seed. I said, so I still have the stick, and I forgot what I said. I said something like, it's on my bucket list to meet him someday. He goes, we can make that happen.
And then I don't even want to say how you reacted to that.
No, I didn't. I didn't think.
You didn't believe it. Y'all believe it when I see it. Because this is 2014, and you are a wise man at this point. The I'll believe it when I see it is the right attitude to have when it comes to a lot of things in life. I'm finding out.
So I'm sitting at the desk.
So you're at work. You're sitting at your desk,
and I get a call on my cell phone from Officer Richard Camato, and he says, "Hey, it's about 4:15, I think. About 4:15." He goes, "Just wanted to let you know that Eddie and Alex Van Halen are going to be at the Hamburger Hamlet on Van Nuys Boulevard in Sherman Oaks at 5:00 for a sheriff's. What's that thing called?
Dinner. Sheriff's fundraisers.
something like that.
Yeah,
right?
some formal sheriff's event dinner.
And he goes, and my partner's going to be there. My partner's going to be there waiting for you.
Who's going to be there?
His partner, his
sheriff partner.
Yeah. I fuck with you not, Troy. I got up from the desk, I go, bye, and I walked out the back door. Okay. I didn't tell anybody shit. I didn't make up any excuses.
This was
I
what
left.
Time?
Huh?
This was what time?
4:15, 4:30.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't give a fuck. I just said bye.
Yeah.
I left. That day, I was wearing a Van Halen t-shirt. I went, fuck! I had to go home.
Because you would have felt weird wearing it.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Went home.
That makes sense.
So while I went home...
You should tell them this story. Well, maybe you did.
I go home. I gotta change my shirt. And I'm going to borrow my mom's camera. This is before I had a camera on a cell phone.
Yeah.
So I get to my mom's house after I'm speaking a mile a minute because I got to get to Sherman Oaks Hamburger Hamlet. I need your cell phone. Blah, 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 blah. When I meet Alex Van Halen, blah, 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 blah. She goes, it's not charged. I don't think it has anything to battery. I went, fuck. So I call my brother. I tell him, can you meet me at Hamburger Hamlet? My folks, they used to live right up the hill of Van Nuys.
Yeah.
The hill, but he lives in Encino. And I'm calling him, I need to borrow your camera. Blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I get to Hamburger Hamlet. I park my vehicle. I'm walking around the side street, coming up Van Nuys. I turn the corner of Van Nuys Boulevard, and it's the first window of Hamburger Hamlet. I turn.
You see them through the window while you're driving.
He lifts. No. I've already parked my truck.
Oh, okay.
And I'm literally
you're
just walking. So I turn to just look in the window to see. I see a table there. As I turn to look, Alex lifts his head. We lock eyes. And I fucking freak.
Love at first sight. For one of you.
I freaked. I freaked, but I had to force myself, turn away. So I turned away, act like I didn't see him.
Yeah.
But we locked eyes, solid.
Yeah, of course.
So I walk inside, and I was told to say, I can't even remember this wonderful gentleman's name, this officer's name, but I was said to ask for him. And they said, oh yeah, he's down at the end. We'll get him for you. Hang on, we'll get him for you. I said, okay. So he said to come on back. So I walk down back. So I walked around the corner, saw Alex, walked in the door. Now I'm walking back down inside the restaurant towards Alex.
Towards where they are.
So I'm trying not to look at him, but I'm taking peeks.
Trying to be normal.
Trying to be normal.
Yeah, that's hard for people like me and you, I gather.
So I sit down at this booth, and I'm talking to this officer. And the guy is just rambling, and I don't really hear. I'm not hearing anything he says.
Right, I know where you're. Yeah.
Alex Van Halen is literally right there.
Yeah.
And this guy's talking sheriff stories, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, they're asking, who are you here for? I'm here for officer such and such. Oh, does he know you're here? I don't know. Well, let me go tell him. So he goes over and tells him. And he goes there. They're like, officer such and such, this gentleman's here to see you. How can I help you? I said, my name's Sean Sherrod. I'm friends with Richard. He goes, oh! He goes, yeah, man. He goes, right on. And so he goes, glad you could make it. He goes, sorry.
No, you're good.
He goes,
because they'd all been talking about you.
Because he said they all knew about it.
Yeah.
And so he goes, give me a second and I'll introduce you to Alex. I said, cool, man. And so I said to him, I said, hey, I got my camera. I go, is it cool to take a picture with him? He goes, no way, man. Absolutely not. Not cool. I went, oh, okay, cool. So
yeah,
I got that idea.
Okay.
So he goes, come on, man. So he grabs me. He walked away and he comes back and goes, come on. We turn. Alex is gone. He goes, where the hell did he go?
Yeah.
So we're standing there. Alex had gone to the restroom.
Sure.
So Alex comes back. He goes, Alex. He goes, yeah. And he goes, I'd like you to meet somebody. He goes, sure. And he walks up to me and he goes, Alex, this is Sean. And he goes, hi, Sean. He reaches out his hand, and I stare at it. I mean, I'm staring at it. He reaches out, and I'm like, that's Alex's hand. Oh. I shake his hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he goes, he's a really big fan of yours, and he says, it's on his bucket list to meet you. He goes, oh, thank you very much. I'm like, I became a sputtering fucking freak.
Of course, you're fanboy.
It wasn't even fanboy. It's not fanboy because it's not.
Yeah, it's beyond that.
It's way beyond that. It's
so meaningful.
a lot of my rock drumming, a lot of people appreciate me as a rock drummer. And all I can say is that anything that I'm good at in that aspect, I was inspired by him.
Yeah. So
okay?
what? So what came out of your mouth?
Oh God, I said
that you can recall. That you want to share. That you care to share.
I'm a huge fan of yours. I've always been a huge fan of yours since junior high school. This is, and I don't even know what order came out. And I remember the last part. The only thing I do is remember the last part. I said, I think you're the greatest rock drummer ever. And I said, I know everyone thinks John Bonham is, but for me, it's you. It's always been you. And I go,
this sounds great. I think you did good. So far, so good.
And he goes, well, thank you very much. So then he shakes my hand. I counted the times that he shook my hand. There's number 2.
Sometimes people do that when it's up too. It's awkward. People don't know what to do, so they keep, especially when you're meeting someone. And anyway, go on.
And I go, I used to run home from school to play to your albums. I'm like telling them like life story because my mom's short at City Corp and I wasn't allowed to play my drums past 5:30.
Yeah, you want to give him some specific details to make sure that he knows that how meaningful it is and that the shit goes way back. Because I would be doing the same shit.
I said you were my third greatest drummer in my life. I go first being my father, of course. Second being Jeff Porcaro and you. I go and then we shook for the third time. Yeah. And then I said, normally. I go, this is really a big honor for me. And normally I would ask to take a picture with you to document it, but I would never disrespect you or your family. Yeah. But no one's going to believe me when I tell them that I finally met you. But this is very
Why
huge.
would people believe you?
I go, this is huge for me. This is so huge, but I'm honored just to have this time. So thank you for your time, Alex. Well, thank you, Sean. And he walked away.
Yeah.
And all that angst, I just dropped. I went.
Because you really wanted the picture?
Well, I wanted that moment. I wanted to.
Yeah.
All my life, not all my life, excuse me.
Yeah.
I forgot how many years that had been at that time, but I'd always wanted to meet him and I never thought I would because my celebrity or circle of family networking was never related to the Van Halen camp. So I didn't think it was ever going to happen.
Sure.
So it's like, wow, I got to do something. So I started to walk away, and here's this sheriff guy again, who was talking to me at the beginning, just jaw-jacking. So he's like, did you meet him? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, that's good. I'm like, yeah. I go, at least I can say I met him, blah, blah, blah. So then
you were almost like sad. Were you more sad that it seemed over rather than not getting the picture? Was it more like, I did it and like, it was bittersweet. It was good. You're happy, but it was kind of bittersweet at the same time.
I just wish
so much build up.
I just wish I had more control over talking to him. That I wish I'd had like time. I just felt it was rushed.
Of course.
And trying to put
everything
37 years into 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it. But
it may not even have been 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think it was 2 minutes. But,
yeah. So the sheriff's talking to you.
So he's talking to me, and all of a sudden I feel this arm come from behind me on my shoulder, and a voice says to my ear, "Don't move." I'm in a room full of fucking sheriff. There's a black guy there.
Oh no.
And I went, what?
He's fucking with you.
He said, he goes, have a seat. He says when he's done with dinner, he'll take a picture with you. I went, what? And he put up his hands and he walked away. So I'm shocked. I'm like,
wait, who put his arm around you? One of the other sheriffs?
The sheriff who was friends with him, who did the introduction, came up behind me, and he's the one who said that. So I stand there, and I'm like, my mouth is open. The other sheriff is still talking. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. He goes, you all right? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just told to sit down, and that Alex is going to take a picture with me. He went, really? I went, yeah. I'm like, holy shit.
Where was he in his meal?
It was beginning.
You're not.
It was.
It was the beginning.
They hadn't even ordered. They were maybe just deciding.
Oh shit! To order. I'm impressed. I guess if they just ordered, you're gonna remember that.
So
yeah. So what did you do for the next?
So he walked back up. I go. He goes, "What did you do?" And I go, "I don't know. What happened?" He goes, "I don't know. He just told me." He goes, "Nice guy." He goes, "Tell him if he hangs out after a meal, I'll gladly take a picture with him."
That's cool.
And I went, "Me?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "What happened?" He goes, "I don't know. I guess it was something you said."
Yeah, well, you're clearly genuine, legitimately passionate fan, and that's what it was.
So he walks away, and I have the picture of me sitting at a bar. There was a Laker playoff, and I'm at the bar. I order a Jack and Coke, and I'm trembling. I'm just shaking. I'm just doing this, and I try not to look in his direction.
Leave the drink on the table and use a straw.
I don't use straws. I hate straws. But anyway, I'm sitting there. I'm watching the Laker. I can't hear anything. Everything sounds like and so I'm calling people to try to calm down. No one's answering their fucking phone. I'm freaking out, right? So here it goes.
You almost don't want to go outside because you can't leave. Then God, you got to stay. You better stay where you are.
I couldn't walk, dude.
You better not go to the bathroom either, in case Alex will leave or something like that.
I'm sitting there, and I'm trying not to look in his direction to be like that impatient guy saying, are you done with your meal yet? Are you done with your meal yet? Are you done with your meal yet? I didn't
Staring at his plate.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there,
counting his carrots,
and I'm trying to fucking pull it together. So finally, I can tell that it's winding down. Because the sheriff who introduced us is over there and people are walking up.
Is this like an hour later or something?
Maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
An hour.
That's how long it takes at these dinners.
I couldn't even tell you. I mean, time was just irrelevant. But people were coming up to his table and shaking his hand. And he was being very cordial. Right? Then he leans over to the sheriff guy. He said one of three things. He said, "Where's that guy? Where's your buddy, or where's Sean?"
Yeah.
And say you're me.
Yeah, you could tell that he was calling for you.
But the sheriff guy looked around like that, and he spotted me at the bar, and he went, "There he is."
Yeah, pointing.
He pointed
at me. Yeah.
Alex makes eye contact with me. He was like this at first, and he went like this. He started smiling. He walked straight towards me.
At the bar, yeah.
Didn't take his eyes off of me.
Yeah.
Walked right up to me. He goes, "Only for you." I'm like, "Thanks, Al."
That would almost make me a little uncomfortable. Only for me.
No, I took it as the highest form of compliment.
Sure.
So I said, "Alex," I go, "I hate to ask for more," is basically what I was trying to say. "But could I get an autograph too?" I have the autograph, and it says, "To Sean, kick ass, Alex Van Halen."
That's great.
So then,
do you have a picture of that?
Hell yeah.
Send that to me.
Okay.
You don't have to do that now.
Yeah. So the sheriff guy goes, "Where's your cameras?" Because my brother had brought his, so I had two cameras. I go, "I don't know which one's going to work." So he goes, "Where do you guys want to take this?" Al goes, "Let's take it out on the street." He goes, the daylight will make us
look better
because we're older now." And he lets out this hearty laugh. Yeah. He cracked himself up. So we get outside, and we're standing on Valerie Boulevard, and
I know where it is, yeah.
We're right in front of the door, and the sheriff guy goes, "Okay, first camera." He goes, 1, 2, and he puts the camera down. Al puts his arm around me. I have to sound like a little schoolgirl.
Of course. You're painting the scene.
He puts his arm around me. I'm just like fucking being hugged by Alex Van Halen right now.
Yeah.
So he goes 1, 2, and the sheriff puts the camera down. And he goes, "Dude, you got the biggest smile on your face right now."
Well, and you're ready.
And I go, "I'm sorry." I go, "Alex, this is huge for me. This is really big."
Oh, no, you're saying too much.
And he's like, "It's okay, man." And I go. So he takes the picture, 1, then he takes the other camera, 2. At those moments, the cameras die. Done. No battery charge left. So I got 2 pictures. So then we're done. And all of a sudden, Alex goes,
"Where's Eddie during all of this?"
Eddie never showed up.
He was never there. Okay.
So then Alex says, on the last tour, we had Kool and the Gang opening for us. Were you able to catch the show? And I went, "We're going to talk?" I'm like,
you didn't say that out loud, did you?
I did. I did. I go.
That's funny. You're funny.
I go,
just gotta roll with it, man.
I go, actually, I went to the Friends and Family show, and I wanted to meet you then, but I didn't want to get arrested.
Wait, so Kool and the Gang opened for Van Halen? Okay.
2012.
I kind of remember that.
Different kind of truth tour. And I go, I went to the show 2 or 3 times. I go, "I always go to your shows 2 or 3 times. I go, "Alex," I go, "you are just an amazing drummer." And I go, "You're a huge influence on me." Back in junior high school, I used to say you're the greatest rock drummer. I go, for so many reasons, but I go, just the hi-hat pattern alone.
Oh, you're getting too specific. This is good. I like this.
That you do on Beautiful Girls. I go, you swing the shit out of that thing more than Neil Peart ever has done. So he goes, it's great to meet you, Sean. You take care. And he had a really big smile on his face. And it was so sincere. And there was nobody around us hounding, trying to get his autograph. Like he was trying to. Like,
was it crap? Did people recognize him around, or you didn't even notice?
I didn't notice that, but I seriously had a one-on-one moment with him.
Sure.
And
yeah, man, that's awesome.
And then his wife. I mean, it wasn't starstruck. He's my idol. I mean, Alex Van Halen is. It's not because he's a star. It's because he gave me something that I've carried with me since I was 13.
Sure.
And it's a fuel. It's and he showed by example.
No, this is beyond a Hollywood crush or something like that. Not even beyond. It's not even in the same ballpark.
It's not. It's so deep.
Yeah.
And for him to recognize me singular, just singled me out.
Yeah.
And give me that one-on-one time with sincerity. He wasn't like, all right, Sean, like, you got your picture, great, thanks for being a fan. He didn't blow me off.
No, but I think he appreciates, and I think a lot of musicians and people who, are creative and put themselves out there, they appreciate the real fans and can recognize them.
And his wife...
And you were not asking him for anything.
No.
Beyond, picture, autograph, whatever.
I would have loved to have had a drumstick from him, like personally handed from him. But I got that later from Valerie.
Gotcha. You were saying it's Eddie's wife, Valerie.
Yeah.
But you were saying something about Alex's wife. You're about to say something.
Alex's wife. So she was looking at me because he was there with his wife and his son. And she was looking at me as I was watching him walk away. And I know I was just, I think I was almost teary-eyed.
You've been teary-eyed for the last 10, 15 minutes, my friend. But go on.
Because it's huge for me.
Yeah.
And she looked at me, and I told her, I said, I'm very sorry to keep you waiting. And she went, sweetheart, it's okay, I get it. And she goes,
you said, I'm very sorry to keep you waiting.
Yeah, because I know they were waiting for him to get done with me.
Yeah,
so they can go to the car.
Yeah.
But she was so understanding, so sweet. And it was huge for me. So then they walk away, and I watched them walk around the corner. And they actually got into a Land Rover gray.
And they didn't invite you to keep going?
I
keep
would
the
never
night going?
ask them.
No, they didn't invite you? Just,
No.
I'm kidding.
So I watched them leave. And I walked back inside. And then all the sheriff guys knew that what I was there for.
Yeah. And
so I walked back inside, and so they're like, did you get your picture? And they looked at my face, they go, oh yeah, you got your damn picture. Look at his ass. They go like Officer Richards, come look at this. This guy waiting for that picture with Alex Van Halen. Oh, he got it. It's like...
It's almost like, it's almost like you got laid. You came back in and everyone saw you giggling like a
schoolgirl.
That's right.
And so I went up to the sheriff, my buddy's partner. I gave him a hug. I said, thank you so much for this. This is awesome. This was great. I go, you don't know. He goes, I get it, buddy. He goes, because I think he met Zeppelin or something like that. He goes, I get it.
Everyone's got their weird thing.
He goes, and it's
not weird, but everyone's got their thing that they're into.
And he knew it's not about being a fan. It goes so much deeper than that. It's more. It's not being.
That's why we're talking.
So he goes, but you're gonna see him again. I went, what? Oh yeah, you're gonna see him again.
Second date?
What are you talking about? And they told me about the friends and family rehearsals, that when they have another one, they can bring me down, that I've already met him, and he'll be cool, because they don't like...
People who are not friends and family?
They're really...
You're friends, man.
They're really sketchy. Because they really...
Skeptical.
Yeah, they're really skeptical of people because they've been ripped off. Or not ripped off. Oh, this is what has happened.
People take advantage.
People who claim they're fans, and they sign a drum head or a guitar.
And then they sell it.
They turn around and sell it, and they're trying to make this money.
Yeah, the band would prefer to just, not do that, or just sell stuff themselves if they're going to make money from it, which is understandable.
And I'm like, if Alex or Eddie signs some shit for me,
yeah,
it ain't going past me. That's mine. Fuck that.
Yeah, you're
That'll
gonna lose
never happen to...
You'll lose your underwear and your shoes before you lose your Van Halen memorabilia.
Seriously, because if you did that for me, that's mine.
You're gonna be naked with one drumstick in your hand.
So I was honored, and then... So when I got done, I left this Hamburger Hamlet. The sheriff offered... He said, why don't you sit down with my family and have a meal? And so I said, I gotta go lock up my job. I literally just walked out. I didn't give a shit. This was huge for me. I couldn't, I gotta stay here. Fuck that. This is Alex Van Halen. When is this gonna happen again? Have no clue.
Yeah.
So I just walked out.
Yeah.
When I got back, I forgot what they told me. They asked me, where'd you go? Oh, I had some plumbing issue. I don't know what the fuck I said, but couldn't say. But I was smiling the whole time, like, I just fucking met Alex
Well, your
Van
plumbing
Halen.
was fixed, so, you're happy.
So when I got back to my truck leaving Hamburger Hamlet, I seriously, I composed myself. I jumped in my truck. I slammed the door. I screamed like an 11-year-old chick, like meeting Duran Duran. I screamed at the time of going on. I called my buddy, and I'm screaming like that still. And he's like, oh my God, calm down. And I'm like, oh my God.
Why calm down? No, don't calm down at all. You don't want to calm down.
I go, this is like one of the best days of my freaking life. So then, jump ahead, and I work with my neighbor who is a local 728 electrician. And he wants to show me what he does. So he takes me out to do some rigging for a cooking show for the Patricia Heaton from
Raymond.
Thank you. Couldn't think of the show. All right, so I do rigging on that. Work 2 days. I make like, I don't know, $1,000. Wow, that's kind of cool. All right, so then he takes me out again, do rigging for one of those chicks.
What is rigging, for those who don't know?
Creating the stands or fixtures in which the lights are going to be hanging from for...
That's right. Lighting and film and television.
Yeah. So there was these chicks, these twin sisters. I call them like the Black Olsen twins. They had a show called Tia and Tamara.
Yeah, I know them.
Anyway,
Sister.
That's it. One of them had a cooking show. He took me out on that one. I made some more money. Then he says, I have another one for the Valerie Bertinelli cooking show.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. He's right. I went, Valerie Bertinelli.
Eddie Van Halen's wife.
I said, oh, ex-wife.
Ex-wife at the time. But they were... Anyway, yeah.
So I have the wedding invitation from that first wedding. My sister got it for me. She parked cars for her valet. And my sister got me the wedding invitation. I still have it to this day.
That's funny.
I told her...
That we won't post on social media.
So he takes me there. And we're doing a holiday special. We're doing holidays because we were learning she was going to cook a turkey. She's going to be cooking turkeys for Thanksgiving. So we're actually at a house in the Encino Hills. And I'm learning how to run cords, electrical work.
It's not her house. It's just a house where they're filming.
She almost bought it.
Yeah.
Just for the...
Shits and giggles. Yeah. I did. Okay.
So I never officially met her, There's no official meeting, at least for me. But this is season 2, so everybody already knows her.
Yeah.
So I'm running cords down a hallway, and the master bedroom of the house is used as her dressing room.
Sure.
So I'm going down and laying these cords to make sure they're against the wall. She comes out, and I have my head down looking at cords. And she screams, and she goes, will you get these damn cords out of my way?
Whoa.
I had my head down. I'm like, I'm very sorry, Miss Bertinelli, because you're not supposed to look at them or nothing like that. So
were you told not to look at?
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk or look at certain stars.
I've heard that, of course.
So I kept my head down. I'm freaking out. I'm like, God, I didn't mean to piss her off. So I kind of peeked my head up to look at her. She's laughing her head off. She goes, I'm just fucking with you, Sean. I went, oh my God.
How'd she know your name, even?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't even know she knew my name, but she found out my name. And so
that's impressive.
Yeah.
Were you wearing a name tag?
Nope.
Okay.
So
a badge? No.
we they raffled off like these turkey.
The leftover food from the show.
You know, because we had like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
So she went, who got the last one? They go, Sean did. She goes, and they're like, that's Sean. And she goes, I know Sean. She's looking like, yeah, we know each other. And she's just laughing because of the thing in the hallway.
Yeah.
So
you guys have a whole thing going on.
She was very nice. So then this is where it happened. This was the same year that Van Halen was playing the Hollywood Bowl. 2 nights, Friday and Sunday.
This is 2015
or 16.
Yeah.
I think 16. Wait, I think 16.
Somewhat recently, okay.
So
ish.
They took her husband Tom out to do like
she's
B-roll.
She's already married at this point. She's remarried.
Oh,
yeah. I forget what her personal life is, but yeah.
So they're shooting B-roll of Tom doing honey-do list. You know, like say, while my pot roast is cooking, I have Tom doing my honey-do list. You know, showing him fixing things around the house. So he has a drill gun. So I did my best this whole time working there not to wear anything Van Halen. I didn't want to scare her off.
Look at you. Okay. Yeah.
I always avoided it. So I'm in the room where she is. So Tom comes back from doing B-roll.
You must have had no clothes to wear.
I have a shitload of Van Halen clothes.
Yeah.
So Tom says to her, honey, they didn't get it. And she's like, get what? And he takes the drill gun and he makes a sound. There's a song called Pound Cake.
Yeah.
Where Eddie has a gun that has the red and white stripes like his guitar, and he uses on the guitar and he makes a revving noise, you know, against the string. And he does the and it just flew out of my mouth. I wasn't even thinking about it, you know. And right after he did it, I go, that's easy, that's Pound Cake. Everybody turns and looks at me.
It's like the record screech. Oh no, you invoked this woman's ex-boyfriend in the most or ex-husband, rather.
They look at me and I just like felt like a deer in headlights.
Did people even? Did you say Van Halen's Pound Cake? Or
no, I just go. That's easy. That's Pound Cake. I remember I spit it out because it flew out of my mouth.
But who's gonna even know that enough people? I guess people. If you're around Valerie, Bertinelli, and the whole Van Halen stuff, people might know. I guess figure it out. Enough people knew.
So she looks at me. She goes, "Very good, Sean." I went, "Oh no." I go, let me explain, just so you know.
Yeah, obviously you didn't mean anything by it, and it would be absurd for anyone to be offended by that, but go on.
I go, I've been a Van Halen fan for like 37 years. I'm a huge fan. She goes, really? I said, yeah. You know, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to kind of spook you and make you...
Yeah, of course.
So Tom comes over.
I was playing it cool.
Well, I go, it's a real honor to be here, you know. So Tom comes over, he goes... Oh, man, so are you going to any of the shows at the bowl? I went, yeah, I'm going to both. He goes, you're going to both? I went, dude, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
It's no joke. I go, that's who I'm into. He goes, wow. He goes, I won't make any promises. He goes, maybe I can get you backstage. I go, don't fuck with me, Tom.
Did you say don't fuck with me, Tom?
Oh, because dude.
That's awesome.
Tom and Val are the sweetest... the sweetest people I've ever met, and I'm honored to be able to call them friends. I really am. But that's how we were. We were just real with each other. And Tom was a very fucking cool dude. He plays drums himself. But he and I clicked on the drum level. Sure. He thinks Take Your Whiskey Home is a great drum track. It's one of his favorite Van Halen tracks, like me. Anyway, so he goes, I can't make any promises. He goes, because the guys are weird, man. He goes, one night there could be a shitload of people partying, blah, blah, blah. Next night, quiet as a mouse. He goes, they're very weird. And he goes, worst come to worst, he goes, I might be able to get you some signature sticks of Alex's. I went, oh, okay. He goes, they won't be played on or anything, but they'll just be his signature sticks. I go, you know what, Tom? I'm just grateful for anything.
Yeah, whatever happens.
I would never ask for anything. Thank you so much for offering. Okay, whatever happens. Okay. So we do the first show Friday night. I lose my voice from singing the backup vocals, so I have laryngitis. Friday through Sunday. Sunday comes, the next gig. I still have laryngitis, but I keep singing. Really ruined my voice. We come back Monday, and everyone's laughing at me for losing my voice. So Tom and Val show up. Tom comes up to me, hey Sean, he goes, how'd you like the show? I'm squeaky.
So you never were able to connect with him at the shows?
No, we never did connect, but I did see her like on the side stage, obviously, of course. There's not going to be a problem with her being up there with her son being in the band, let alone her ex-husband. So, he asked me where my truck was. And when we went to this house, we'd have to park at this golf parking lot on Burbank, like Burbank and Havenhurst.
Yeah.
And then a shuttle would take us up the hill because there's so many cars. And so I said, my truck's down at the bottom of the hill. He goes, well, don't go far. You know, we have something to give you. I said, okay. So I'm working. And I was outside of her bed, the master bedroom window. And he comes down and he goes, oh, let me get that. He comes out. He hands me a pair of drumsticks. One red, one blue. Alex Van Halen's signature drumsticks. And she goes, he played with those Soundcheck Sunday, 4 songs. And he told me what the songs were.
Wow. And
I forgot what they were. One of them was Run with the Devil. That's about all I can remember.
Yeah.
But he played four, and then he put them on his snare drum. And she goes, Wolfie got those for you. And he goes, and he tells me the story. He goes, don't tell anybody. He told me not to tell me. I won't.
His son got them? Oh, I see. Because the sheriff got them from...
The sheriff, no, it has nothing to do with the sheriff.
Who got them from... Someone asked Wolfgang Van Halen to get you the...
No, Tom asked... Well, Valerie, turned out Valerie asked Wolfie to grab them.
Gotcha.
What happened was, he said, Tom asked Wolfie, he goes, hey, Wolfie, can you grab a pair of your Uncle Al's sticks for someone we want to give to at work? And Wolfie said, no can do, Tom. He said, Uncle Al's getting really weird in his old age of giving out drumsticks.
Sure.
So Valerie went up to him and said, no, Wolfie, I really need you to get your Uncle Al's drumsticks for a guy at my job who's a big fan. And he was like, all right, Mom. So they did the sound check. Al left the sticks on the snare drum. Wolfie swiped them, handed them off to Val.
Yeah.
And that's how I got them. So she did all that for me. And so
that's quite a story, my friend.
That right there made me feel I was very overwhelmed that she thought that much of me. So then during the day, she's getting ready to do her walk-on scene. I walk by her and I'm not supposed to, Tom told me not to say anything, you know? So I just stayed quiet. So she sees me walk by, she goes, hey, Sean. She goes, did you get the drumsticks I got you? She goes, actually, Wolfie got them for you. I went, yeah. She goes, and I go, can I hug you? She goes, of course you can. And I give her a big hug. I go, thank you so much. It's like the best gift ever.
Yeah.
And so
it's great.
Apparently everybody in the show
knew about.
We knew she was going to do that for you. I'm like, wow. I mean, I just felt fucking honored.
No, that's great.
And then Tom would come up to me. We shot seasons 3 and 4, and he would grab guitar picks.
Yeah. And
I'd be sitting there, hey, Sean. And he goes, hey, I got some of Wolfie's picks for you. And just dump them off to me. You good? I'm like, yeah. So,
that's awesome. And then when did Alex show up and ask for his drumsticks back?
He hasn't yet. But that same show, Wolfie was going to be there the next day. Or later that day. After just playing the Hollywood Bowl, he was going to be recording with us. And
recording on the TV show.
Yeah.
So just stopping by.
He pulls up, and he's in the green room, which was another room in the house. And I wanted to say something.
You wanted to thank him or something.
Well, I just wanted to acknowledge he did a fucking bang-up job, dude. The kid fucking got down. Yeah, he kicked. Dude.
Musically. At the show. God. Yeah.
The kid's a badass.
Did you have, you hadn't met him up to this point?
No, I hadn't.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting in a room with him, and he's with his best friend. I forgot his best friend's name. He's a really cool kid. They're very well-balanced and very great people.
Yeah.
But said something about the show, and Wolfie's out there. He was shooting his scene. And I kept smiling. I kept laughing, reminiscing about the show. And he said something like Wolfie was nervous. And I'm like, he kicked ass. And the guy, his best friend goes, really? I go, hell yeah. I go, I saw both nights. And he was great both nights. He goes, would you tell him that? And I said, can I tell him that?
Wow. That's funny. People have some, maybe not insecurities, but I don't know.
I said, I'd love to tell him.
It means to.
He shoots a scene. He comes back and he was playing on like a Game Boy or something. He's very quiet. He's not a bratty rock and roll
kid.
Wolfgang Van Halen is the most genuine, kindest. He's funny as fucking hell. I mean, he's really comical. I mean, I got to see some great things with him.
Maybe I get him on the show.
He is the nicest. He's not arrogant. He's really. Oh, I love Wolfie. Wolf. Now he's Wolf, not Wolfie, but Wolf.
Wolfgang.
He's great. I love that. He's a beautiful person, and anyone who talks shit about him, I'd like to sock him in the fucking face for the shit they say about that kid, because he's a great kid. He's a great musician. He ranks as one of my top favorite bass players now because I saw him do some fucking phenomenal shit on that Hollywood Bowl stage. I watched it, and I know Michael Anthony's parts. He did some great grooves. I went, wow, Wolfie. So anyway, he comes back to the room, and he's sitting there. I'm shaking because I don't want to make him uncomfortable.
Sure.
And I don't know where my place is as a worker. I don't want to piss him off and get thrown off the show. I'm like, excuse me, Wolfie. I called him Wolfie. And the reason I call him Wolfie is he was on the Arsenio Hall show as a baby. And they referred to him as Wolfie.
Oh, no, you're referring to shit from 20
years ago. I went, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I accidentally came in. I saw you on Arsenio many years ago. And I just naturally called you Wolfie. He goes, it's okay. I go, really? He goes, yeah, you can call me Wolfie, Sean. I went, okay, thank you. I said, I just want to tell you, you kicked ass. I'm saying all this in a laryngitis voice. I go, I went both nights.
Yeah.
And so he goes, oh, thank you. And I go, I'm a big fan. He goes, oh, thank you, Sean. And so everyone in the room goes, no, Wolfie, he is a real fan. He goes, oh, okay. So I go, best part for me was when you guys did Dirty Movies and Drop Dead Legs. I go, oh my God. He goes, wow. He goes, you are a fan. I went, yeah, dude. And I'm like, amazing. Your backup vocals were great. Your playing was phenomenal. You rank as one of my top 5 new favorite bass players. He goes, wow, thank you, Sean, so much. I go, I don't want to disturb you, and I'm really not trying to get. He goes, no, you're not disturbing me, Sean. I go, is there any way possible you take a picture with me later? He goes, sure, Sean. I go, you just let me know when it's good. He goes, how about right now? I went, really, Wolfie? He goes, yeah. Stood up, puts his arm, and we take a picture. I'm like, is that all, Sean? I went, yeah, man. Thank you so much. You're welcome. So throughout the day, I'd see him, and we joke around. We took another picture later, and he's leaving. He goes, bye, Sean. I'm like, bye, Wolfie.
Man, you guys are friends now.
Yeah, right? So then we're shooting on Valerie's show this 3rd and 4th season. Betty White and all the girls from Hot in Cleveland are coming.
Yeah.
I had no desire to disturb Betty White. I love Betty White.
Of course, yeah.
But
you have nothing to really say to her.
I wouldn't disturb her, but Valerie made it very clear, do not disturb Miss Betty White.
Sure.
Do not ask her for anything. Because she'll do it, but she's old. But
yeah, you don't want to bother Betty White.
But that was the last thing on my mind, right? So
she's not a musician in Van Halen.
Yeah. She's
Who's she?
Musician,
yeah.
That affects me. I'm not fanboy. I'm not into stars.
Yeah.
So anyway.
She's a nice woman, though, I'm guessing.
Oh, she was beautiful. All the ladies were wonderful, but I tried not to look at them or bother them.
Sure, of course.
So Wolfie shows up again, and I know that Valerie had put out the disclaimer not to disturb Betty or any of the girls. So when Wolfie got there, I wasn't sure if I was allowed to say hi to him or not because we had met, the season before. So I went up to Tom and go, hey, Tom. I go, is it okay if I say hi to Wolfie? He goes, no. Everybody else can talk to Wolfie except you.
He's fucking with you.
Yeah, he's fucking with you. And he grabs me. He goes, get over here. He drags me inside the house. He goes, hey, Wolf. He turns, he goes by Wolf now. I go, oh, Wolf. Okay. He goes, you remember Sean, right? He looked at me, and all of a sudden his face lights up. He goes, yeah, I remember Sean. Hey, Sean. I go, hey, Wolf. Wolfie. I went, Wolf. He goes, it's okay. And I went, how are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm fine. Blah, blah, blah. We're talking and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know how it was. I go, I asked him for another picture. Sure. We took another picture together. So we took a picture and I'm happy. So then they're doing these sound bite things.
Sure.
Like, about Valerie's show where she says, for more about my cooking recipes, log on to Food Network,
whatever it is,
www.valerie or whatever. I forgot what the thing was. But sometimes when she had people around, like family or guests, they would chime in saying .Valerie, right? Well, Wolfie's around. And every time he would chime in with, he would say it for no reason. He would just yell out, like, and then we cook over here, .Valerie. He would just scream it, right? And we'd start cracking up.
Yeah, .Valerie at the wrong times.
Or he would make it really pronounced at the right times. I was cracking up. Apparently they got mad at me. They're saying that Wolfie's being disrespectful to his mother. So I was like, they have a relationship. I understand me and my mom have
they're messing around.
A humorous side that no one else is going to get. They were kidding around. They got upset with it. They're saying that he's being disrespectful. To see the way that he treats his mother? Yeah, he loves his mother. And so they gave shit about it. I laughed. They didn't like me laughing. And Valerie said to me one time, she goes, thank you for laughing, Sean. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, Valerie. She goes, no, seriously. She grabbed my hand. She goes, thank you for laughing.
Is that, I think sometimes like the higher ups on these production crews, that they're so worried about offending that, the talent, the stars, that they don't realize that the stars don't want to be treated with such kid gloves necessarily all the time.
It was her son.
It was her son.
It was her son. He wasn't disrespecting. They made it seem like he was being like obnoxious, like, I don't want to be here. He's
just fucking around.
He was fucking around, and it cracked Valerie up. She was having a good time. I was having a good time. I got it.
Yeah.
But they were so busy about being... They wanted him to be like, .Valerie.
Yeah.
And he was just like, .Valerie. And it was funny. We're all laughing in the sense of we get it, but it wasn't Hollywood perfection.
So what about any more Alex? Do you have any more Alex stories or anything like that? Or what's the latest with your Van Halen life
is
and
they're
meeting?
supposed to be getting back together this year with Michael Anthony. I had a dream the other night.
And what about what happens to Wolfgang?
Wolfgang is working on a solo album.
Okay, and is he singing too?
Wolfgang's a fucking badass drummer. Like really fucking, like a John Bonham type drummer. Like he's really that good. Like I saw him do some shit where he was just like, he looked like a John Bonham out of control. He ain't no joke. Wolfie. Don't sleep on Wolfgang Van Halen as a songwriter, as a guitarist, as a bassist, as a drummer. He's a threat. He's seriously a threat. He's a badass. He ain't fucking around.
Yeah.
And he's equipped to do all of it.
Who sings though?
I don't know, but I think
he's working on it.
Wolfgang is going to release his album this year. This is what I think, and he's going to be the opening act for
Van Halen with
a great introduction to the world.
Yeah, that makes sense. That could work. Cool. Well, I'm going to look out for that.
But I had a dream about. Seriously, the other night, 2 or 3 nights ago, I had a dream. I ran into Michael Anthony, their bass player, on the street. And I've never met Michael, but Michael is one of the more approachable members. He's always been like,
the vibe, from what you've read.
The most normal. Well, anytime you see him in an interview, he's just a laid back, cool guy. But I ran into him, in my dream, I ran into him on the street, and he confirmed that they were back together. They're touring this summer. He even played me, and this is a weird thing, he played me a song, and I heard it in my dream, and it wasn't a Van Halen song of any nature, but it had something to do with Visitor? Something to begin with a V. Visitor? Vicious?
I don't know, man.
It began with a V.
Yeah.
Visitor. Something like that. And he played it for me, and it sounded really good. And then he said, he goes, and Alex wants you to contact him because he wants to give you something. And there's a signature snare drum by Alex Van Halen that I've wanted for 2 years now. I had the money for it, and I loaned it to an old girlfriend, friend of the family, and she was supposed to pay me back, and she never did. And that's how come I didn't get one. So I'm trying to get that back. But anyway, in my dreams, like, he goes, yeah. He goes, he wants me, and if you don't have his number, he told me to give it to you. So he gives me his number, Alex's number, and as I'm taking his number, Mike goes, you still have my number, right? And before I could say, like, I never had your number. He's like, he goes, here, let me give it to you anyway. So I got Alex and Michael.
You're getting all kinds of digits, man. In
Alex
your
Van
dreams.
Halen's phone number, Michael Anthony's phone number, and he goes, it's good to see you again, Sean. I've never seen him in the first place, right? So it's good to see you again, Sean. He goes, we'll see you. He goes, I'll see you at all the shows as usual.
Yeah.
And then he goes, say hi to your mom, and he walked away.
Just say hi to your mom is funny to me.
Well, because everyone who knows me knows that I'm very close with my mom.
Sure.
When I run into people,
They ask her how she's doing.
they go, hey man, how you been? You still drumming? How's your mom?
Yeah.
Always about the second or third question.
Sure.
So he's like, say hi to your mom. And I went, okay. And I remember I woke up the next day going,
This was like in the last couple of weeks?
a couple of days, dude.
Days ago, damn. Well, I'm going to look out for that tour.
I have to go. I'm going to go every night. I
Yeah.
can't just go once.
Isn't it? Would they have announced it already? I guess you could. There's time to announce a summer tour. You got time.
Everything's been denied. That's the thing. There's a huge rumor mill going on.
Yeah.
And then the latest, you can look it up online, is there's this guy named Eddie Trunk.
This is being recorded, by the way, on January 25th. So things could change in Van Halen world by the time this gets released, whenever that is going to be.
Eddie Trunk got a call from somebody.
Who?
He said, Eddie Trunk, he's this, he's sort of like a Howard Stern type dude.
Yeah.
You know, he had a radio
guy.
show.
Yeah.
A classic rock radio show. He got a call and he said, I got a call from a friend of my cousin's who works at Live Nation, who says Van Halen is booked to play in July at Wembley Field.
Wembley Stadium in England, yeah.
No, Chicago.
Wembley?
No, Wrigley. Sorry.
Wrigley Field.
Wrigley.
Yeah. So it's happening.
But they haven't released anything. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to look out for it, my friend.
So, yeah.
So
that's all I got. So
sounds good. I appreciate your time for sure, my friend. Thank you for coming by.
Sorry for all those segues, roadways, but they all lead to somewhere. Trust me.
For sure. Now, thanks again, and that was awesome to hear all these Van Halen stories, and I'm going to re-listen to the whole catalog. Of course,
I don't get sued over anything.
just the David
I'm not
Lee
sure
Roth
if
stuff.
any of that was supposed to be personal moments or if they were supposed to be shared with the world.
No, I think shared with the world is great. Thanks.
Of course you do.
Of course. Thanks again, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, man. Later.
So there you have it. My interview with Sean Sherrod. Hope you enjoyed it. I've already started to dive back into Van Halen's musical catalog myself. Of course, like I always say, or have been saying so far at least, you can follow this show, People We Love, on Instagram and Twitter. Just look for the red logo with the white letters, People We Love. There's also a Facebook page now if you wanted to follow the show on there. And the show is, of course, available on Spotify and Stitcher, in addition to iTunes. Libsyn, Libsyn, is actually my hosting service, but I don't believe I'm coming up yet in Google searches. But I'll try to post shows on Libsyn on social media and put links up to that for you guys, because I know that sometimes iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher might not work the best on desktop computers or laptops as opposed to phones. And if you're enjoying the show, please leave a positive iTunes review. I'd greatly appreciate it. And that's about all I got for today, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.